I was still holding the water glass they stuck in front of me because I hadn't been offered champagne when my mother lifted hers and said the line that split the room to the daughter who truly deserves everything. The applause hit like a slap. My sister smirked so broadly the photographer snapped 3 pictures of it, and me, I wasn't even at the family table. They'd seated me near the DJ booth, close enough to feel the bass, far enough to be forgotten. I felt my throat tighten, but not from sadness. No, what tightened was restraint. Precision, the kind that makes your heartbeat slow instead of race. So I stood calmly, chair scraping against the floor like a warning, and I said, "You'll remember this day, just not for the reason you think." People laughed, nervously, already convinced I was the unstable one. They always believed the version of me my mother rehearsed for them. 1 hour later, when the first phone chimed, the first smile broke. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There was a time my sister and I were inseparable. 2 girls sharing secrets under blankets, whispering promises into the dark. She'd braid my hair. I'd cover for her, sneaking out. The kind of bond people think lasts a lifetime. And my mother, she used to brag that she raised 2 brilliant daughters. She'd say it proudly, hand on each of our shoulders, squeezing us like prized possessions. The shift didn't happen overnight. Betrayal rarely does. It creeps. Waits. It softens the ground before the collapse. It started when I was applying for a promotion at work, one I'd been working toward for years. My sister helped me prep for the interview, or so I thought. She'd sit across from me, giving me feedback, praising my answers. But then my boss casually mentioned over coffee, "Your sister said you were overwhelmed, that maybe you needed time before taking on more." My heart dropped. I hadn't said that. I would never say that, but I forced a smile. She must have misunderstood. That was the first clue. The second came when I found out she'd taken my proposal, a project I'd spent months building, and presented it to her department head as her own, and she got rewarded for it. Still, I stayed quiet. Family, I told myself. Blood, I reminded myself. The third clue wasn't a clue at all. It was a message, a voicemail accidentally left on my phone. My mother's voice first. "Don't worry, sweetie. We'll make sure you shine. Your sister, she's too sensitive to lead anyway." My sister, laughing softly. "I know. We just have to keep her out of the way." Then my mother, again sharper. "Just stay ahead of her. She trusts too easily." That was the moment something inside me clicked, or maybe snapped. I didn't cry, didn't confront them. I just rewired my thinking. If they wanted me to be quiet, I'd become silent. If they thought I trusted too easily, I'd give them a reason to. I began collecting things. Emails, messages, screenshots, voice recordings. Every lie, every stolen idea, every time they used my name to secure something. Jobs, favors, sympathy. It was astonishing how freely people talked when they believed I'd never fight back. I waited, watched, listened, and I learned something valuable. People who build their identity on lies think no one is ever paying attention. The wedding was the perfect stage. My mother's obsession with image guaranteed every important person in her world would be there. Friends, colleagues, donors, her church circle, and my sister's new husbands. Family, wealthy, influential, very concerned with integrity. So 1 week before the wedding, I sent anonymous emails, just a teaser, a preview of truth, a curated collection of my sister's career achievements and the real authors behind them, a copy of her faked volunteer letters, the resume padded with my own published work, a short clip of that voicemail, and a note: "If you want the full file, wait for the wedding." Then during the reception, after the toast that crowned my sister the perfect daughter, I scheduled the final drop. Every phone in that room received a single link. Every secret spilled at once. The effect was instant. Her new mother-in-law gasped. First, her husband looked at her like she'd turned into a stranger. My mother grabbed her phone so tightly I thought it would crack. My sister's smirk disintegrated, slow and beautifully irreversible. She looked at me then, really looked at me for the first time in years. "What?" she mouthed. I didn't answer. She already knew. I left before the chaos peaked. I didn't need to stay. I didn't need to watch my mother scramble, my sister break, or the perfect wedding crumble. Justice doesn't need applause. It just needs precision. And as I walked to my car, the night air cool against my skin, I felt something unfamiliar settle in my chest. Not guilt, not triumph, just clarity. They taught me silence, so I taught them consequences. And trust me, they'll remember that day, just not for the reason they hoped.